Hello students, I am Pawan Kumar Singh from Shyoti Educational Group. Today we will start chapter number 11, The Human Eye and the Colorful World of Class 10th. The contents of the chapter are: first, the human eye, in which we will study about the parts of eyes. Second, defects of vision and their correction. Third one, refraction of light through a glass prism. Fourth, dispersion of white light by a glass prism. Next, atmospheric refraction. And last, scattering of light. Students, we have already learned in the previous chapter about the light and some of its properties. In this chapter, we shall use these ideas to study some of the optical phenomena in nature. We shall also discuss about the rainbow formation, the splitting of white light and blue color of the sky. The human eye is one of the most valuable and sensitive sense organs. It enables us to see the wonderful world and the colors around us. It located in the eye sockets in the skull. The approximate diameter of the eyeball is 2.3 centimeter. It is a natural optical instrument which is used to see the object by human beings. It is like a camera which has a lens and a screen system. Parts of the human eye. In this slide you can see a diagram of the human eye in which various parts are already labeled. Students, I will suggest you please learn the diagram carefully. Now come to the different parts of the human eye. First is retina. You can see the position of the retina in the human eye. Now, retina, it is a light sensitive screen inside the eye on which image is formed. It contains rods and cones. Second one is the cornea. It is a thin membrane which covers the eye trail. It acts like a lens which refracts the light entering the eye. Next one is the aqueous humor. It is a fluid which fills the space between cornea and eye lens. Next one, eye lens, which is also known as crystalline lens. It is a convex lens made of transparent and flexible jelly-like material. Its curvature can be adjusted with the help of ciliary muscles. Now students, one more thing. I will suggest you please note down each and everything which I am speaking. Make a proper notes. Okay? It will beneficial for your board exam. Next one, pupil. It is a hole in the middle of iris through which light enters the eye. It appears black because light falling on it goes into the eye and does not come back. Ciliary muscles. These are the muscles which are attached to the eye lens and can modify the shape of eye lens, which leads to the variation in focal length. Next one, iris. It controls the amount of light entering the eye by changing the size of the pupil. Next one, optic nerve. These are the nerves which take the image to the brain in the form of electrical signals. Last one, vitreous humor. It helps to hold eye's spherical shape. The vitreous also comes in contact with the retina. Next one, power of accommodation. It is very important topic. Now, it is the ability of eye to change the focal length of eye lens with the help of ciliary muscles to get the clear view of nearby objects and far distant objects. Now, students, you should keep in your mind that near point of the human eye is 25 centimeter and the far point is infinity. Okay. Now, focal length can be changed with the help of the ciliary muscles. Focal length increases when ciliary muscles get relaxed and lens get thin. Focal length decreases when ciliary muscles get contract and lens get thick. The minimum distance at which objects can be seen most distinctly without any strain is called the least distance of distinct vision. It is also called the near point of the eye. For a young adult with normal vision, the near point is about 25 centimeter. Now, the farthest point up to which the eye can see objects clearly is called the far point of the eye. It is infinity for a normal eye. You may have note here a normal eye can see objects clearly that are between 25 centimeter and infinity. Sometimes the crystalline lens of people at old age becomes milky and cloudy. This condition is called cataract. Due to the membrane growth over eye lens, the eye lens becomes hazy or even opaque. This leads to decrease or loss of vision. The problem is called cataract and it can be corrected only by surgery. Next one, what is the persistence of vision? It is the time for which the sensation of an object continue in the eye. It is about 1 upon 16th of the second. Next, astigmatism. It is basically a defect. It is a kind of defect in the human eye due to which a person cannot focus simultaneously on horizontal and vertical lines both. Next one, color blindness. A person having defective cone cells is not able to distinguish between the different colors. This defect is known as color blindness. Working of pupil. Students, you would have observed that when you come out of the cinema hall after watching the movie in the bright sunlight, your eyes get closed. And when you enter the hall from the bright light, you won't be able to see, and after some time, you would be able to see. Here, the pupil of an eye provides a variable aperture whose size is controlled by the iris. Actually, when the light is bright, iris contracts the pupil so that less light enters the eye. And when the light is dim, iris expands the pupil so that more light enters the eye. Pupil opens completely when iris is relaxed. Now, why do we have two eyes for vision and not just one? There are several advantages of our having two eyes instead of one. It gives a wider field of view. We need two eyes because a human being has a horizontal field of view of about 150 degree with one eye and of about 180 degree with the two eyes. Thus, the two eyes provide us wider horizontal field of view. Second advantage, with one eye, the world looks flat, that is two-dimensional only. And with the two eye, the view is 3D, that is dimensions of depth is added to our view. Defects of vision and their correction. There are mainly three common refractive defects of vision. These are myopia or nearsightedness, second hypermetropia or farsightedness, third one is presbyopia. These defects can be corrected by the use of suitable spherical lenses. We discuss each and every defect one by one. Myopia. It is also known as short-sightedness. It is a kind of defect in the human eye due to which a person can see near objects clearly, but he cannot see the distant objects clearly. There are two reasons of the myopia. First is excessive curvature of the cornea and second is elongation of the eyeball. Students, you can see in the diagram for the myopic person, if the object is placed at infinity, then its image is formed before the retina. This person has its own far point. It will not be infinity but other than infinity. And at this point, the image is formed on the retina. Now the correction of the myopia. Since a concave lens has the ability to diverge incoming rays, it is used to correct this defect of vision. The image is allowed to format the retina by using the concave lens of suitable power as shown in the diagram which is given on the right hand side of the slide. Hypermetropia. It is also known as long-sightedness. It is a kind of defect in the human eye due to which a person can see distant objects properly but cannot see nearby objects clearly. It happens due to first decrease in the power of eye lens, that is increase in the focal length of the eye lens, and second is the shortening of eyeball. In the diagram you can see clearly for the hypermetropic person, if the object is placed at standard near point, then its image is formed beyond the retina, and if the object is placed at the near point of the hypermetropic eye, it will not 25 centimeter, it will other than 25 centimeter. If the object is placed at near point of the hypermetropic eye, then its image will form on the retina. A hypermetropic eye has its least distance of distinct vision is greater than 25 centimeter. Now come to the correction of hypermetropia. Since a convex lens has the ability to converge the incoming rays, it can be used to correct this defect of vision. In the right hand side of this slide, a diagram is given by which we can understood how it convex lens have to correct the hypermetropic defect. If the object is placed at O dash, by the help of convex lens we can see the image of the object which is placed as O dash is formed on the retina. Presbyopia. It is a kind of defect in human eye which occur due to the age factor. It happens due to the following reason. First, decrease in flexibility of eye lens, and second, gradual weakening of ciliary muscles. Now in this a person may suffer from both myopia and hypermetropia. Now come to the correction of presbyopia. By using a bifocal lens with appropriate power, we can correct the presbyopia. Bifocal lens consists of both concave and convex lens. Upper portion consists of concave lens and lower portion generally consists of convex lens. Refraction of light through a prism. Now to understand this topic, we have to consider a triangular glass prism. It has two triangular bases and three rectangular lateral surfaces. These surfaces are inclined to each other. The angle between its two lateral faces is called the angle of prism. Now let us do an activity to understand the refraction of light through a triangular prism. First of all, we have to fix a sheet of white paper on a drawing board using a drawing pins. Now place a glass prism on it in such a way that it rests on a triangular base. Now trace the outline of the prism using a pencil. Now draw a straight line PE inclined to one of the refracting surface, say AB of the prism. Now fix two pins, say at points P and Q on the line PE as shown in the slide. Now look for the image of the pins. Fix P and Q through the other face AC. Now fix two more pins at points R and S such that the pins at R and S and the images of the pins at P and Q lie on the same straight line. Now remove the pins and glass prism. The line P meets the boundary of the prism at point E. Similarly, join and produce the points R and S. Let these lines meet the boundary of the prism at E and F respectively. Join E and F. Now draw perpendicular to the refracting surfaces AB and AC of the prism at point E and F respectively. Now mark the angle of incidence which is generated by angle I, and the angle of refraction, that is angle R, and the angle of emergence, that is angle E. Now the emergent ray bend at an angle of the direction of incident ray. This angle is called angle of deviation, and in this case angle D is the angle of deviation. Dispersion of white light by a glass prism. The phenomena of splitting of white light into its 7 constituent colors when it passes through a glass prism is called dispersion of white light. The various colors seen are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. The sequence of colors is remembered as Vibgyor. The band of 7 colors is called spectrum. The different component colors of light bends at a different angle with respect to the incident angle. The violet light bends the least while the red bends most. Now come to the composition of white light. White light consists of 7 colors, that is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Now what is monochromatic light? Light consisting of single color or wavelength is called monochromatic light. Example, sodium light. Now come to the polychromatic light. Polychromatic light consists of more than 2 colors of wavelength. It's called polychromatic light. Example, white light. Recombination of white light. Newton found that when an inverted prism is placed in path of dispersed light, then after passing through the prism, they recombine to form white light. Now, to understand this point, we have to follow the Sir Isaac Newton experiment. He was the first who obtained a spectrum of sunlight by using a glass prism. He tried to split the spectrum of white light more by using another similar prism, but he could not get any more color. Now, he repeated the experiment using the second prism in inverted position with respect to the first prism. It allowed all the color of his spectrum to pass through the second prism. He found white light emerges on the other side of the second prism. Then after the experiment, he concluded that sun is made up of 7 visible colors and the name is Vibgyor: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Rainbow. It is the spectrum of sunlight in nature. It is formed due to the dispersion of sunlight by the tiny water droplets present in the atmosphere. Basically, there are two reasons which are responsible for the rainbow formation. First is dispersion of light, and second one is the internal reflection. Now come to see how the rainbow is formed. The water droplets acts like small prisms. They refract and disperse the incident sunlight, then reflect it internally, and finally refract it again when it comes out of the raindrop. Due to the dispersion of light and internal reflection, different color reach the observer's eye. Red color appear on the top and violet at the bottom of the rainbow. A rainbow is always formed in a direction opposite to that of sun. Atmospheric refraction. The refraction of light caused by Earth's atmosphere is called atmospheric refraction. The air just above the fire becomes hotter than the air further up. The hotter air is lighter than the cooler air above it and has a refractive index slightly less than that of the cooler air. Since the physical conditions of the refracting medium are not stationary, this wavering is thus an effect of atmospheric refraction of light by the Earth's atmosphere on the scale in our local environment. There are few examples of atmospheric refraction which we can see. First is twinkling of stars, second one is advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. Twinkling of stars. It is also due to the atmospheric refraction. Distant stars act like a point source of light. As the beam of starlight keeps deviating from its path, the apparent position of stars keeps on changing because the physical condition of Earth's atmosphere is not stationary. Hence, the amount of light enter our eyes fluctuates, sometimes bright and sometimes dim. This is the twinkling of star. Now one question arises that why planets do not twinkle? The answer is planets are closer to the earth and are seen as extended source of light, that is the collection of large number of point-sized source of light. Therefore, the total amount of light entering our eyes from all individual point source will nullify the twinkling effect. Advanced sunrise and delay sunset. Actual sunrise happens when it is below the horizon in the morning. The rays of light from the sun below the horizon reach our eyes because of refraction of light. Similarly, the sun can be seen about few minutes after the actual sunset. Thus, the duration of the daytime will increase by 4 times. This is only due to the atmospheric refraction. Because of this, sun is visible about 2 minutes earlier than actual sunrise and about 2 minutes after the actual sunset. One more thing, the apparent flattering of the sun's disk at the sunset and sunrise is also due to the atmospheric refraction. Scattering of light. The path of a beam of a light passing through a true solution is not visible. However, its path becomes visible through a colloidal solution. Colloidal solution is where the size of the particles is relatively larger. In scattering of light, we will discuss about the Tyndall effect. Second point, why is the color of clear sky blue? Third one, color of the sun at sunrise and sunset. Tyndall effect. When a beam of light strikes the minute particles of Earth's atmosphere, suspended particles of dust, and molecules of air, the path beam becomes visible. The phenomenon of scattering of light by the colloidal particle gives rise to the Tyndall effect. It can be observed when sunlight passes through a canopy of dense forest. You can see the diagram which is given on the right hand side part of the slide. The color of the scattered light depends on the size of the scattering particles. Now come to the some more examples of phenomena of scattering of light. First, anger signs are made in red color. Red is the least scattered color. It is least scattered by fog and smoke and can be seen in the same color over a long distance. So, danger signs are made in red color. Next, color of sky appear blue on a clear day. The upper layer of atmosphere contain very fine particles of water vapor and gases. These particles are more effective in scattering of light of shorter wavelength, mainly blue, than larger wavelength. So the sky appear blue. Next one, appearance of sky to an astronaut in the space. The sky would appear dark to an astronaut in the space, as scattering is not very prominent at such high altitude due to the absence of particles. Next one, clouds appear white. Clouds are formed by the water vapors. Water vapors condense to the form water droplets due to a larger size of droplets. All colors of light are scattered and clouds appear white. Color of the sun at sunrise and sunset. While sunset and sunrise, the color of the sun and its surrounding appear red. During sunset and sunrise, the sun is near horizon and therefore the sunlight has to travel larger distance in atmosphere. Due to this, most of the blue light are scattered away by the particles and the light of longer wavelength will reach our eye. This is why the sun appears red in color. Now students, what you have to do? You have to try to attempt all in-text question of this chapter, do exercise question answer and also do the extra questions. This chapter has been completed. Thank you.